Hello, I'm Laura. Welcome to today's video. Today's episode of what I'm watching is going to consist of 3 more selections which are currently streaming. They're all must-see, so let's go ahead and jump right into them. Our first selection can be found on Netflix, and it is the series Keep Breathing. Now, this show is a story of survival. This is kind of a story of how resilient we are when it comes down to our basic animal instincts when it's necessary to survive. This one kind of draws on life experience. It kind of reminds me a little bit of The Hatchet, but also a little bit of Slumdog Millionaire. You kind of have the part of Hatchet where you are alone in the wild, having to survive on your own, using your own resources. The other aspect is a little bit Slumdog Millionaire, where the character is drawing on past experiences to be able to work her way through current situations and survive. I will go ahead and tell you this one ends on a major cliffhanger. Netflix does have this one labeled as a limited series, which to me is kind of like a mini series where it should wrap up by the end of it, but it definitely does not do that. So stay tuned, check out and see if there is a season 2 on this one, because they did not wrap the story up at all. It does end on a cliffhanger. Still on Netflix, we're going to shift things a little bit. We are going to go to the series Echoes. I'm sure you've probably heard of this one by now, but if you haven't, then let me tell you a little bit about it. First, this series is twisted. It is out there. So the storyline is basically of 2 twin sisters who swap lives every year. They've been doing this for multiple years now, and nobody seems to notice. This one kind of does touch on the subject that not all of our perceptions of someone are 100%. Just because we label someone as bad doesn't mean they're bad. Just because we label someone as good doesn't mean they're good. I think personally everybody has a little bit of good and bad in them. So this one kind of highlights that a little bit for you. It also shows how childhood development affects our whole lives. Traumatic events that happen in childhood can very easily follow us throughout adulthood, and it kind of touches on that a little bit. Again, this one is a little darker, but it is a must-see. It's kind of a thriller a little bit. You want to see what happens. You want to know how the story unfolds, so it sucks you in really well. So we're going to take things in a little bit of a brighter note. We had kind of survival and dark situations in our first 2 selections, but let's lighten it up a little bit. Our third selection is going to be the series Partner Track. Again, this one is on Netflix. It's going to revolve around the storyline of young professionals in kind of this dog-eat-dog world of climbing the ladder, trying to make partner in a law firm. Now, although these characters are all lawyers, they are very different. They did a very good job on making all of these characters have their own personality, and they all bring something different to the storyline. This one does kind of touch on that corporate world of ambition over morals. You're going to see people make decisions that you might not normally think they would make, but when they are so focused on a goal, sometimes their judgment gets clouded. This series definitely needs to have a second season. I am so into this one. I believe there were 10 episodes. They are totally binge worthy. You're gonna finish it in no time flat, and trust me, if you're into it the way I am, you're gonna want more. So those are the 3 selections for today's video. I know the past few episodes have been heavily focused on Netflix. That just happens to be where I have found the newest selections. If you have any other suggestions on other streaming services, go ahead and drop me a comment down below. Let me know. I will definitely check them out. Before you go ahead and check out these other 2 videos where you can see past recommendations, get more that you can binge. Make sure that you're subscribed. That way you can come back to our next episode. I hope to see you there with more selections.